Most people think aging alone is what shortens life. But what if I told you that's not true? The real danger isn't just getting older. It's what happens inside your body when certain risks go unchecked. And after 75, these silent killers become even more dangerous. But here's the good news. You can do something about them, starting today. Before we get into these 5 biggest risks, if you care about staying healthy and strong, hit subscribe. Let's make better aging a reality together. And now, let's talk about what really takes lives after 75 and how you can avoid it. Because knowledge isn't just power, it's the key to a longer, better life. Maybe you've seen it firsthand. A friend who was once full of life, now struggling to move. A parent whose sharp mind seems to fade, or even changes in your own energy and strength. It's unsettling, isn't it? The truth is, after 75, certain health risks don't just increase, they become life-altering. But here's what most people don't realize. It's not aging alone that causes decline. It's the choices we make, the habits we ignore, and the warning signs we overlook. Think about this. Why do some people remain active, independent, and sharp well into their 80s and 90s, while others face rapid decline? It's not luck. It's because they take control. They recognize the dangers before they strike, and they make small but powerful changes to stay ahead. Most people assume that weakness, memory loss, or declining health are inevitable, but what if they're not? What if, with the right habits, you could slow or even prevent the most common threats to your life? That's exactly what we're going to uncover. Because once you understand what really puts you at risk, you can take action to protect your future. We're counting down the top 5 causes of death after 75, and you'll want to stay until the end, because number 1 is the one that takes lives the fastest. But first, let's start with one that's often underestimated: falls. Number 5, falls, the silent threat that steals independence. Most people don't think of falling as life-threatening, but the truth is, it's one of the biggest dangers for seniors. 1 out of every 4 adults over 65 falls each year. And after 75, these falls become even more dangerous. Why? Because a single fall can lead to broken bones, hospitalization, or even a loss of independence. In fact, many seniors never fully recover after a serious fall. So why does this happen? It's not just getting older. It's a combination of muscle loss, weaker bones, slower reflexes, and even the side effects of medication. Many common prescriptions, like those for blood pressure, sleep, or pain, can cause dizziness, making falls more likely. And here's what most people overlook: their home itself. Rugs, poor lighting, and cluttered walkways can all turn into hidden dangers. But here's the good news: falls are preventable. And it starts with one key principle: move more, not less. The strongest people in their 80s don't get there by accident. They train for it. Simple habits like walking daily, doing balance exercises, and even light strength training can make a huge difference. Stronger muscles and better coordination mean better stability. Another powerful way to prevent falls: look at your environment. Small changes, like adding grab bars in the bathroom, improving lighting, and clearing pathways, can reduce fall risks dramatically. And if you take medication, talk to your doctor about side effects that might affect your balance. The difference between someone who stays independent and someone who doesn't. It often starts with avoiding falls. And now that you know this, you can take action. That was number 5. But wait until you hear what's coming, because number 4 is a hidden killer that most people don't even realize is destroying their health. Keep watching. Number 4. Chronic respiratory diseases, the hidden danger of weak lungs. Many seniors believe shortness of breath is just a normal part of aging. It's not. If you've ever felt winded doing simple activities, walking up a few steps, getting out of a chair, or even just talking, you might think, well, that's just old age catching up with me. But the truth is, your lungs don't weaken because of aging alone. They weaken because they aren't being used properly, or because they've been damaged over time. How does this become deadly? Chronic respiratory diseases like COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, pneumonia, and untreated lung infections make breathing more difficult. As oxygen levels drop, the heart and brain suffer, leading to dangerous complications. What's even worse, many of these conditions develop slowly over time, meaning people don't notice them until they're severe. One of the biggest culprits? Not using your lungs enough. Your lungs are like a muscle. Use them or lose them. Shallow breathing, lack of movement, and long periods of inactivity reduce lung capacity. And for those with a history of smoking or exposure to pollutants, the damage can be even greater. How to protect your lungs and breathe stronger for life. 1. Deep breathing exercises. Most people don't breathe deeply enough, which limits oxygen intake and weakens lung function. Try this. Take a slow, deep breath through your nose. Hold for a few seconds, then exhale fully. Do this several times a day to keep your lungs working efficiently. 2. Stay active. Regular movement, like walking or light exercise, keeps your lungs engaged. If you're sedentary for long periods, your lung capacity shrinks. Even stretching or chair exercises help. 3. Avoid air pollutants. Smoke, dust, and chemicals in the air can damage lung tissue over time. If you have a history of smoking, it's never too late to improve lung health by quitting and staying away from secondhand smoke. 4. Watch for early signs. A lingering cough, wheezing, or frequent lung infections can be warning signs. Don't ignore them. Early detection can save your life. Strong lungs mean more energy, better circulation, and a longer, healthier life. The people who stay active and independent the longest, they take their lung health seriously. That was number 4. But number 3 is even more alarming because it doesn't just affect your body. It steals your memories, your personality, and your independence. Keep watching. You don't want to miss this one. Number 3. Alzheimer's and dementia, the mind's worst enemy. Losing memories is worse than losing years. Watching a loved one struggle to remember names, faces, or even basic daily tasks is heartbreaking. And if you've ever had a moment where you forgot something simple, like why you walked into a room, you might have wondered, is this just normal aging, or is something worse happening? The truth is, Alzheimer's and dementia don't just appear overnight. Brain decline begins decades earlier, long before noticeable symptoms show up. But what many people don't realize is that there are things you can do right now to protect your brain. Why does Alzheimer's happen? Alzheimer's and other types of dementia develop due to a combination of factors, including 1. Chronic inflammation. Inflammation in the brain, often linked to poor diet, stress, and even untreated health conditions, can accelerate cognitive decline. 2. Lack of mental stimulation. Just like muscles weaken when not used, the brain loses strength when it's not challenged. 3. Poor diet. The foods you eat affect brain health more than you think. Diets high in sugar and processed foods have been linked to an increased risk of dementia. 4. Social isolation. Loneliness is a major risk factor for cognitive decline. When social interaction decreases, brain activity slows down. How to protect your brain and stay sharp? Challenge your brain daily. Reading, learning new skills, doing puzzles, or even trying something as simple as using your non-dominant hand for daily tasks can help build new neural connections. The brain thrives on being challenged. 2. Eat brain-boosting foods. Omega-3 fatty acids, found in fish like salmon, walnuts, and flax seeds, support brain function. Leafy greens, berries, and nuts are also linked to better cognitive health. 3. Stay socially engaged. Regular conversations, meaningful relationships, and social activities keep your brain active. Whether it's joining a group, calling a friend, or participating in a community event, staying connected matters. 4. Exercise regularly. Physical activity increases blood flow to the brain, which helps prevent cognitive decline. Even short daily walks can make a difference. 5. Prioritize sleep. Deep sleep is when your brain clears out toxins and strengthens memory. Poor sleep has been directly linked to a higher risk of dementia. The mind needs exercise just as much as the body. Never stop learning, engaging, and challenging yourself. Protecting your brain isn't just about living longer, it's about staying yourself for as many years as possible. That was number 3. But number 2 is even more dangerous, because it's the number 1 cause of death worldwide and often shows no symptoms until it's too late. Keep watching. You might be at risk without even knowing it. Number 2, heart disease, the number 1 killer that starts in silence. Heart disease is the leading cause of death worldwide, yet most people don't even realize they have it until it's too late. In fact, half of all people who die from heart disease never showed symptoms beforehand. No warning signs, no pain, just a sudden, life-changing event. That's what makes it so dangerous. It starts in silence. While we often associate heart attacks with chest pain or shortness of breath, many people experience no clear symptoms at all. Instead, heart disease slowly builds up over years. Hardened arteries, high blood pressure, or unnoticed damage caused by stress, diet, and lifestyle. The hidden causes of heart disease. 1. High blood pressure, often called the silent killer. High blood pressure damages arteries over time, increasing the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Many people don't realize their blood pressure is high because it rarely has obvious symptoms. 2. Bad diet. Diets high in processed foods, unhealthy fats, and excess sugar can clog arteries, leading to dangerous plaque buildup. Too much salt also raises blood pressure, putting extra strain on the heart. 3. Stress. Chronic stress raises cortisol levels, which can lead to inflammation, high blood pressure, and heart strain. Over time, the wear and tear on the cardiovascular system adds up. How to protect your heart and live longer? The good news: Heart disease is 80% preventable. Small, consistent changes can dramatically lower your risk. 1. Follow the 80% rule. Many cultures known for longevity follow a simple rule. Stop eating when you're 80% full. This prevents overeating, reduces stress on the heart, and helps maintain a healthy weight. 2. Daily movement. The heart is a muscle. It needs exercise. You don't need intense workouts. Even a 30-minute walk a day can lower blood pressure and strengthen your heart. 3. Reduce sugar and processed foods. Sugar fuels inflammation and contributes to obesity, diabetes, and heart disease. Cut back on sugary drinks, processed snacks, and refined carbs. Focus on whole foods like vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats. 4. Manage stress. Stress can be just as dangerous as diet. Simple habits like deep breathing, meditation, or spending time with loved ones can help lower stress and protect your heart. A healthy heart doesn't just add years, it adds life to those years. It gives you the energy to enjoy time with your family, stay active, and live without constant health worries. That was number 2. But number 1 is the fastest growing cause of death after 75, and most people don't even think about it until it's too late. Stay with me. This one could save your life. Number 1, stroke, the fastest way life can change forever. Every 40 seconds, someone has a stroke, and after 75, the risk skyrockets. But here's the scariest part. Most strokes don't come with a warning. 1 minute, everything seems fine. The next, a person can't move, can't speak, or even recognize their loved ones. A stroke doesn't just threaten life, it can take away independence in an instant. And unlike some health conditions that progress gradually, a stroke happens suddenly, often leaving little to no time for intervention. The warning signs of a stroke. Many people miss the early warning signs, assuming they're just momentary lapses or fatigue. But the sooner you recognize a stroke, the better the chances of survival and recovery. Remember fast. F. Face drooping. One side of the face may suddenly droop or feel numb. A. Arm weakness, inability to lift an arm or sudden numbness on one side. S. Speech difficulty, slurred speech, confusion, or trouble understanding words. T. Time to call emergency services. Every second counts. Get help immediately. A stroke happens when blood flow to the brain is blocked, ischemic stroke, or when a blood vessel bursts, hemorrhagic stroke. The result? Brain cells start dying within minutes. The longer it goes untreated, the worse the damage. The biggest risk factors include 1. High blood pressure, the number 1 cause of strokes. Uncontrolled hypertension weakens arteries, making them more likely to burst or become blocked. 2. Dehydration. Thickened blood increases the risk of clot formation. Many seniors don't drink enough water, unknowingly raising their stroke risk. 3. Lack of movement. Sitting too long can slow circulation and increase clot risk. How to prevent a stroke and protect your brain. 1. Control blood pressure. This is the single most important step. Monitor blood pressure regularly and aim for a healthy range. Reducing salt, staying active, and managing stress all help. 2. Stay hydrated. Dehydration thickens blood, making clots more likely. Drink water consistently throughout the day, even if you don't feel thirsty. 3. Daily stretching and movement. Gentle stretching improves circulation, reduces blood pressure, and keeps arteries flexible. Even simple movements, like ankle circles or seated leg lifts, help. 4. Eat stroke-fighting foods. Leafy greens, berries, nuts, and foods rich in potassium, like bananas and avocados, support healthy blood flow and reduce clot risk. A stroke can take everything in an instant. Mobility, speech, independence, but with the right habits, you can lower your risk dramatically. Here's the truth: aging itself isn't the problem. It's what we do or don't do that determines our future. We've seen people in their 80s and 90s thriving, full of energy and independence. And we've seen others struggling, confined by preventable health issues. Now you know the 5 biggest risks. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Every small habit, every choice you make today shapes the life you'll be living years from now. Will you move more? Drink more water? Pay closer attention to your heart health? Here's your chance to take control. Don't let aging just happen to you. Take charge of it. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 risks surprised you the most? Which one will you start working on today? Drop a comment below. I read every one of them. And if you're ready to age better, not just older, hit that subscribe button. Because your future self, they'll thank you for starting today.